In the scriptural justice system, the highest authority, the Most High Yah, is the judge and the jury. The seed of Israel are his children. These are their stories. The maps don't lie. Comprehensive sources and receipts. Overview. What the maps prove. The maps don't lie evidence shows that 16th, 18th century European cartographers labelled a region in West Africa as Juda, Ouidah, or Kingdom of Juda, the same name as the biblical Kingdom of Judah. Key questions. 1. Why did Europeans use this name? 2. Was there a Hebrew Israelite presence in West Africa? 3. Did scattered Hebrews settle there after 70 AD, 135 AD diaspora? Primary sources, historical maps. Map 1, Guillaume de Lisle, 1707. 1. Full citation, cartographer, Guillaume de Lisle, French royal geographer. Map title, Carte de la Barbarie, de la Nigricie et de la Guinée, Map of Barbary, Nigritia and Guinea. Date 1707, publisher Paris, France. Region labelled Juda, clearly marked on coast of modern-day Benin, Togo. Where to access? Library of Congress, Geography and Map Division. Call number G8200 177074. Digital ID hw.lov/item 200462 Roche. David Rumsey Historical Map Collection, online davidrumsey.com. Searchable database, high-resolution scans. Bibliothèque Nationale de France, BNF. French National Library. Maps and Plans Department, Gallica Digital Library, gallica.bnf.fr. What the map shows: Juda, labelled along Slave Coast, Bight of Benin. Port of Juda, Ouidah, marked. Surrounding kingdoms, Benin, Dahomey, Alada. Clear geographic placement, modern-day Benin. Map 2, Hermann Moll, 1727. 2. Full citation. Cartographer Hermann Moll, German-born, worked in England. Map title, A New and Exact Map of Guinea. Date 1727, publisher, London, England, region labelled Kingdom of Hueda, Juda. Where to access? British Library, Maps Collection, Maps K-Top 117.18, Norman B. Leventhal Map and Education Centre, Boston Public Library, Digital Commonwealth, digitalcommonwealth.org, John Carter Brown Library, Brown University, Providence, RI, specialises in America's Africa early maps. What the map shows: Whydah, English spelling of Whydah. Labelled as Kingdom, shows slave trade ports along coast. Territory corresponds to Hueda Kingdom, conquered by Dahomey, 1727. Map 3, John Senex, 1725. 3. Full citation, cartographer, John Senex, English cartographer. Map title, A New Map of Guinea. Date, 1725, publisher, London, England, region labelled Juda, Kingdom of Juda. Where to access? Library of Congress, Geography and Map Division, Norman B. Leventhal Map Centre, Collection ID, Commonwealth 9S161FAV, direct link, collections.leventhalmap.org. Barry Lawrence Ruderman Antique Maps, commercial dealer, high-quality scans online, raremaps.com. What the map shows: Kingdom of Juda clearly labelled, major trading port Juda, inland territory marked, part of larger Negroland region. Map 4, Jean-Baptiste Bourguignon d'Anville, 1749. Full citation, cartographer Jean-Baptiste Bourguignonville, leading French cartographer, 18th century. Map title, Afrique, multiple editions with variations. Date, 1749, and subsequent editions. Publisher, Paris, France, region labelled Juda, Pays de Juda, Land of Judah. Where to access? Library of Congress, Bibliothèque Nationale de France, David Rumsey Collection, multiple Danville maps of Africa, high-resolution zoomable. What the map shows: Juda prominently displayed, part of comprehensive Africa map. Danville was most respected cartographer of era, not random labelling. Map 5, Negroland maps, various 1600s to 1700s. 5. General category, region name, Negroland and Guinea or variations. Time period, 1600s to 1700s, multiple cartographers, Dutch, English, French, German. Examples: A. Willem Janzoen Blow, Africae Nova Descriptio 1635, Dutch cartographer, shows West African kingdoms. Ouidah or Juda appears in various Blow family maps. B. John O'Gilby, Africa 1670, he English cartographer, publisher. Large folio atlas, Kingdom of Juda, labelled. C. Nicholas Sanson, Afrique 1650s-1660s, French royal geographer, multiple editions showing Juda. Where to access? David Rumsey Collection. Search Negroland, returns 100-plus historical maps. Library of Congress, search Guinea plus date range 1600 to 1800, Osher Map Library. University of Southern Maine, oshamaps.org, British Library, King's Topographical Collection. Nash Map 6, Portuguese Maps, 16th century. 6 early Portuguese sources. Portugal dominated West African coast exploration, 1400s to 1500s. Established trading posts, including São João Baptista de Ajudá, Whydah. Key maps. A. João Teixeira Albanaz, West African coast, 1630s. Portuguese cartographer shows Ajudá, Portuguese spelling. São João Baptista de Ajudá fort marked. B. Various Portuguese rutters, navigation guides. Costa de Mina, Gold Coast. Show Ajudá, Porta de Juda. Where to access. Biblioteca Nacional de Portugal, National Library of Portugal, Lisbon, Maps and Prints Department, Torre de Tombo, Portuguese National Archives, Lisbon, Colonial Records, Arquivo Histórico Ultramarino, Overseas Historical Archive, Portuguese Colonial Documents. Why these maps matter. Analysis 7. The name Juda. Etymology and significance. 3 theories on origin. Theory 1. European mapmakers heard local name. Associated with biblical Judah. Local African kingdom pronunciation sounded like Juda Ouidah. Europeans familiar with Bible wrote it as Judah. Coincidental similarity. Theory 2. Hebrew Israelite presence in region. Hebrews scattered to Africa after 70 AD, 135 AD, episodes 3 to 4, settled in West Africa over centuries, named region after ancestral homeland Judah. Europeans recorded existing name. Theory 3. Portuguese named it Ajudá. Help aid. Portuguese word ajuda calls help aid. Named Fort Port São João Baptista de Ajudá. Over time shortened to Judah. Coincidental match to biblical name. Scholarly analysis of the name. A. Robin Law, Ouidah, The Social History of a West African Slaving Port, 1727 to 1892, Ohio University Press, 2004. Definitive academic work on Ouidah, Whydah. Chapter 1, Origins of the Name, discusses local Hueda people, Portuguese Ajudá, European Judah. Law's conclusion, name derives from Hueda people plus Portuguese influence. Does not address possible Hebrew connection, not his focus. B. Edith Bruder, The Black Jews of Africa, History, Religion, Identity, Oxford 2008. Chapter on West African Hebrew communities. Notes, Judah name intriguing but inconclusive. Documents, Hebrew practices among some West African peoples, suggests possibility but acknowledges lack of definitive proof. C. Tudor Parfit, The Lost Tribes of Israel, The History of a Myth, Weidenfeld and Nicholson, 2002. Skeptical academic analysis of lost tribe claims, addresses Judah name briefly. Parfit's view, likely coincidence or Portuguese origin. However, acknowledges oral traditions among some West Africans claiming Israelite descent. Historical context. The Hueda Kingdom. 9. The Whydah people. Political history. Kingdom of Hueda, established 1600s, possibly earlier. Capital Savi, near modern Ouidah, Benin. Economy, trade, including slave trade, agriculture. Conquered, 1727 by Kingdom of Dahomey. Result, territory absorbed, port of Ouidah became Dahomey's main slave port. Sources. Law Robin, Ouidah 2004. Comprehensive Political History. Law Robin, The Slave Coast of West Africa 1550 to 1750, Oxford 1991. 10. European trading posts in Judah. Portuguese, Fort São João Baptista de Ajudá, built 1721, still standing today, now in Benin, served as slave trading fort. English, Fort William, built 1690s, expanded 1720s. French, Fort Saint Louis de Grégoire, Ouidah. Built 1704 Dutch, had trading post, less permanent structure. All fought for control of Ouidah, Judah, richest slave port. Sources, Law Robin, Ouidah, 2004. Documents all European forts. Bay, Edna, Wives of the Leopard, Gender, Politics and Culture in the Kingdom of Dahomey, University of Virginia Press, 1998. Slave trade from Judah, the numbers. 11. Ouidah, Judah as slave port. Transatlantic slave trade database statistics. Ouidah embarkation point. 1 million enslaved Africans shipped 1640s to 1860s. Peak period 1700s to 1850s. One of top 5 African embarkation ports alongside Luanda, Bonny, Calabar, Lungo. Source, Transatlantic Slave Trade Database, slavevoyages.org. Voyage search, filter by Ouidah, also spelled Whydah, Judah. Downloadable data. 12. Eltis, David and Richardson. David, Atlas of the Transatlantic Slave Trade, Yale, 2010. Map 50, Ouidah and the Bight of Benin. Shows Ouidah as major port, 1720s to 1860s. Statistics, over 1 million embarked from this region. Oral traditions, Hebrew connections. 13. Local traditions. About origins. Limited documented traditions. Some oral histories in Benin, Togo region reference people from the east. Exact content varies, not systematically recorded. Problem: most oral traditions not documented until 20th century. By then, centuries of colonization, Christianization, Islamization had altered traditions. Difficult to verify authenticity. Academic work on oral traditions. Law, Robin. Here is no resisting the country, the realities of power in Afro-European relations on the West African slave coast. In Itinerario Vol 24 2000, discusses oral histories but focused on political trade history, not origins. Naksha 14. Hebrew practices in West Africa. Documented practices, various peoples. Igbo, Nigeria. Circumcision on 8th day. Sabbath-like rest days. Dietary restrictions. Oral traditions of descent from Israelites. Sources: Bruder, 2008. Williams. Hebrewisms of West Africa, 1930. Yoruba, Nigeria, Benin. Some religious practices with Hebrew similarities. Source: Olumide Lucas. The Religion of the Yorubas, 1948. Togo, Benin, Ghana. Some oral traditions, less documented. Problem: practices could result from 1. Ancient Hebrew contact, 2. Later Islamic influence, 3. Independent development, 4. Post-contact reinterpretation. Genetic evidence. 15-day studies. West Africa, limited specific studies on Juda region, no comprehensive genetic study specifically of Ouidah Benin populations testing for Middle Eastern Hebrew ancestry, gap in research. Broader African genetic studies. A. Tishkoff, S.A. et al. The Genetic Structure and History of Africans and African Americans in Science, Vol. 324, 2009. Comprehensive African Genetic Diversity Study. Shows West Africans primarily indigenous African ancestry. No specific Hebrew marker testing. B. African American ancestry. Most African Americans traced to West Central Africa, DNA tests. Regions include Benin, Togo, Juda region. But doesn't disprove Hebrew ancestry. Hebrew markers may have been absorbed into African populations over centuries. Connecting the maps to prophecy. 16. Prophetic interpretation. Deuteronomy 28 verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. Episode 3 proved. Hebrews scattered to Africa after 70 AD 135 AD. Episode 4 proved migration deep into Africa over centuries. Juda maps suggest, by 1600s to 1700s, Hebrew communities or their descendants present in West Africa. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. Maps plus transatlantic trade. Juda region's major slave port. Hebrews scattered there, captured and shipped. Fulfillment of sold unto your enemies. Counter-arguments and responses. 17. The name Juda is just Portuguese Ajudá. Response: Portuguese did name Fort São João Baptista de Ajudá, but maps show Juda, Kingdom of Juda, not just fort name, but kingdom name. Predates Portuguese fort, 1721. Maps from 1600s already showed Juda. Why would entire kingdom be named after Portuguese word for help? More likely, Portuguese adopted local names spelled it Ajudá, similar to their word. Nazar 18. It's just coincidence. No proof of Hebrew presence. Response: coincidence is one possibility. But consider cumulative evidence. Name Juda on multiple maps, multiple languages, French, English, Dutch, Portuguese, oral traditions among some West African peoples claiming Israelite descent, Hebrew-like practices, circumcision on 8th day, Sabbath, dietary laws, DNA evidence from other African regions, Lemba, Beta Israel. Proves Hebrews did migrate to Africa. Transatlantic slave trade from this region equals fulfillment of 2868. May not be proof beyond doubt, but it's evidence. 19. Modern scholars say it's the Whydah people, not Hebrews. Response: Whydah people are documented inhabitants. Question is, were Whydah people themselves descendants of Hebrews who migrated centuries earlier? Or did Whydah kingdom include Hebrew communities who influenced the name? Not mutually exclusive possibilities. Most scholars haven't examined this question because they don't consider Hebrew diaspora to Africa. Welcome to Yah and Order.